What's going on, everybody? Kenny Bomber's in the building, and we finally got the announcement that I've been personally waiting on since August of 2020. I'm a big fan of these UFC games, but I didn't get any enjoyment out of EA UFC 4, mainly because they focused too much on gimmicks in that game, and the overall gameplay took a big hit because of it. But it looks like EA is looking to drop those gimmicks, and they're stepping into round 5 with that killer instinct, so we gotta talk about it. But first, if you're excited to finally see EA UFC 5, drop a like on this video. But don't forget to smash that subscribe button, because this is going to be your new favorite spot for everything UFC. Now let's get into it.
Run, boy, they coming on.
Now, I'm sure a lot of people saw this and just took it as a quick teaser for the reveal date, but I like to dig a lot deeper, so I got a lot more than that from this short teaser. Let's take a look at it. So we get the new logo, UFC 5, and they tell us we'll get the full reveal in September of 2023. EA handles the marketing for these UFC games just like WB handles the marketing for the Mortal Kombat games. They'll announce the game, give it a few months of promotion, and then they'll release it. So this game will most likely be out before the end of December. If this game comes out in 2023, then this has been a crazy year for games. But the game has to be good. And I got a good feeling about that, because just looking at this logo, we see basic UFC 5. It looks like they're going back to form where they're focusing on the sport and no gimmicks. And don't get me wrong, sometimes gimmicks can add to the overall vibe, presentation, and overall feel of a game, but if it doesn't fit, it's just not going to work. Take a successful one by example. Street Fighter 6 used a hip-hop graffiti gimmick, and that just worked. But that Miami vibe, or whatever they tried to do with UFC 4, it kind of killed the presentation, and then they tried to make that game feel like a fighting game and just really took away the whole MMA aspect of it, and I did not like it. With this UFC 5 logo, it makes me feel like we're going back to the basics. We got the simple UFC font, and what does that 5 look like? Broken bones. That's what I need in my UFC. I need to see them breaking bones, not going in the backyard fighting it out like a Street Fighter, because that's not what it is. If I want to play Street Fighter 6 is a great game. I can go ahead and do that. They need to return to the sport in UFC 5. Some of y'all might think I'm crazy talking about logos and presentation, but let's take a look at the logo for UFC 4. This just does not give me UFC vibes. Even looking at this makes me want to turn the game off, and I don't even got it on right now. Look at the graphics in UFC 4. That was another problem. UFC 3 looked better than UFC 4 did. I don't know what happened or why they had to take a step back in the graphical quality, but even this right here looks like a fighting game. It does not look like UFC. So I'm hoping we get more of that realistic looking UFC 5, and they move away from whatever this was, because I think they need to go in a completely different direction. To this day, I still think the THQ UFC Undisputed games were the best MMA games we ever got. And I think with UFC 5, it's time for EA to fix that. They got all the tools they need. All they got to do is put the work in, because they can definitely do it. I'm not going to give y'all everything right now, because we're going to be talking about this game a lot. But one last thing that I'm going to tell y'all that I want to see fixed in EA UFC 5 is the career mode, because it just can't be the same. If we can get full real life stories in the NBA 2K basketball series, then I think in a combat sport we can definitely get real life stories, and I want to see a more engaging career mode where we can build and grow to learn our fighters and work our way up to get that championship. We got Conor McGregor throwing chairs on buses. We got Jorge Masvidal socking Leon Edwards backstage. We got Jorge Masvidal socking Kobe Covington at a restaurant. There's a lot that goes on in this UFC setting, so I think you can definitely put that stuff in the game and give us an exciting story mode. Now that's all I'm going to give y'all today, but if you want to see me talk more about UFC 5 on this channel, let me know by dropping a like on this video. But don't forget to smash that subscribe button, because like I said earlier, this is going to be your new favorite spot for everything UFC 5. Bomb Squad. Let's get to that.